Hey everybody, how are you today? Scary Barry coming at you. Today I would like to talk to you about reserve parachute. Probably should have thrown that reserve just a little bit sooner, right? Of course, altitude was a little low. Yeah, so you know what, guys? I'm a bit of an idiot, all right? I think you've already figured that out. But you know what? I'm still in hibernation mode, right? So it's 34 degrees outside today, and I think the winds are like 20 mile an hour. The sun is out today, which is the hard part, because it gives me the spring fever, right? I have done very little paramotoring of any type, of any sort, all winter long. I just hibernate, guys. I think you know that about me. But I did get something fun today I want to show you. So I got this box in, and what it is this is my reserve chutes, my reserve parachutes. They go on two of my machines. I think there's a third one in here too, because I bundled up with a buddy of mine and sent it off. But just to do something paramotor related today, guys, I think we're going to open those up and put them out there on the, see, I got one for the Tornado and I got one for the SkyMax, but they're both SUP air harnesses. So if you're interested in maybe seeing how you put a reserve on a SUP air harness, come along, guys, let's have a little fun. All right, let's get this box open. Guys, we got to be careful with these knives, right? I always kind of just do a little bit there, and I still just kind of go sideways at it. I don't really want to cut anything important in there. Cloud9 Paragliding is who did the inspections and repacks on these reserve parachutes. There they are. Okay, before I did ship them off, I did put my name on a piece of tape on these. I'll make sure I get mine here. That's one of mine. That one is not mine. This one is mine as well. So let's get these opened up and take a look at them, see what kind of paperwork came with them. They're just doing a quick inspection, guys, and a repack, right? You should do that every year, whether you use it or not. So it looks like the only information they're giving me on it just shows who did it, what kind of make and model it is, and who did the inspection, which in this case is Justin. Like I said, guys, I did send mine off to Draper, Utah, a place called Cloud9, and it was probably 2 months before I got it back, but they did say it would be a while, and that's why I send it off in the winter when I'm not flying. And guys, something I'll show you when we put those on. This is a triangle, this is a steerable, right? So I don't know if you can see here, but there is actually brake toggles on the reserve itself. This one is just an Angel model, and there isn't any kind of steering toggles on that. They don't really hook up that much different, and I'll show you what I mean when we put them on the machines here, but either way, it's pretty straightforward, pretty simple. All right, guys, something I check every time that I fly, is very important to me. I don't know if you can look right here, but there's these little ropes, these little strings, and I'm gonna try to get in here and show you, but what those are is those are holding on this little plastic piece. And maybe we'll do a video on how to set all this up soon. I know a couple of my other friends are getting ready to repack theirs, and maybe I'll show you how all that works on the next video. But try to get in the habit of not picking it up by this, guys, because this is your actual. You pull that to throw it when you're up in the air and something would happen. You would reach down, you would grab that handle right there, and you're going to give it a pull. And you're going to throw it out just like that. Try to get in the habit as you're handling this to not pick it up by this handle. You're just going to weaken the way it's held on right here. Now when it comes to putting this on, guys, this is a SUP air harness and the Tornado, and it's pretty simple, straightforward. If I show you the other side, now some people do dual reserves on these things, but I just have a pocket on the other side. As you see, it's just a zipper pocket. But it's basically going to attach the same way on either side. What we're going to want to make sure of, guys, if you see this little zipper right here, there's a zipper that goes all the way up to there. There's two little snaps. There's one there, and there's one on the bottom, which will go with this snap here and this snap on this side. If you look at the underneath side of this, a zipper right here. Sorry, guys, trying to do this while holding it. But this is a zipper. So all we're going to do is mesh this zipper up with this zipper here, and we're going to simply zipper that right into the harness. Okay, and I do have this set up for a right hand reserve throw. because the throttle is usually on my left hand and I like to keep my right hand available for this. All I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start out by lining up these this zipper and just zip it on there. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. This is the hardest part, I would say, of the whole installation, because you're trying to do two things at once. You're trying to hold this up as well as start that zipper. But hopefully you can see there that zipper did start. And I'm just going to keep working it all the way up and around until I get to the top. Now, as you can see, I'm not holding on to that red handle. We don't want to put any pressure on that if we don't have to. In my opinion, guys, this is the most difficult part of the reserve installation. Just because you have to kind of hold it at a weird angle and it gets a little bit hung up in here. But you just work at it a minute, man. You'll get it. Just like so. Make sure you keep these straps up and out of the way. Zip that dude all the way up just like that. And then again, I want to snap this piece onto there. Just like that. Okay, then if you come back through, everywhere you were just at is this Velcro right here. Okay, like if you undo this button again, you'll see from here on out, there's a Velcro here and there's Velcro here. So all I'm going to do is Velcro that together all the way around. Making sure we keep any of the strapping out. This is just the, guys, this is just the strap that holds the chest strap right here in place, right there. So it's out of the way, no worries. Go ahead and finish that Velcro all the way around. Make sure all your snaps are snapped. And that's gonna be it as far as actually attaching the reserve to the harness. The next thing we wanna do is attach these to this part of the harness up here. Okay, so the next step in this process, guys, is you've gotta put these leads, these here, on where they go onto your harness, which is on these carabiners right here. Now, this one is a steerable, and there is an R marked on here. So the way I like to remember that, and I had to ask first time I put one of these on to make sure, but the R will go on your right side as you're sitting in the harness. So your R will always be, in this case, on the right side in the harness. Not while you're looking at it, but while you're in the harness. So I like to bring this side up. Again, I have the R. And guys, I want you to make sure you're careful here. Do not take this inside of here, right? You don't want it on the inside of that swing arm. That's not the place for it. You always want to make sure you're outside and coming up on the outside of that swing arm, okay, guys? And there's a Velcro strap or a Velcro pocket right here that we're going to put that in. And it simply comes around, and there's another little Velcro piece here that you tie it all in here. And we're just going to leave it kind of hang loose for right now until we get right where we want it. And then this piece will go into this carabiner right here. I like to put it so that it's going to be up just like that. And then we want to tighten this bad boy right here down. In my particular case, guys, I'm pretty sure I went over and grabbed the 11, but if I remember right, it was an 11 millimeter to tighten this down on this carabiner. Yeah, man, I got the memory of a, I don't know, elephant. And the body of an elephant too, I guess. I reckon. Tighten that dude down really good. Give it a good wrench, man. All right, so technically this dude is attached to your harness now. All we got to do is the other side. So this one should be marked L, correct? Right? Where's my L? Where's my L? There it is. There's my L. So we're going to bring this thing up the same way we brought the other one, except this one's a little different, guys. It's got to go in the same pocket on the side. Then it continues over behind the harness. There's another little pouch here for that. We'll leave that open for now. And down the other shoulder, right? Same principle on this side. We're gonna stick it in yonder. And I'm gonna attach it right there. Tighten that puppet down. And that's essentially it. You got your left and your right hooked into the carabiners on your shoulder straps. And you got the pocket itself zipped into the harness down here below and snapped. As far as basic installation, guys, that's about it. Now I'm going to purdy it up a little bit and make it look good and kind of hide some of this stuff, and I'll walk you through that too. Now we'll show you a little tip and trick that I like to do. What I like to do is I like to take just a little bit of this painter's tape, guys. Nothing hardcore. I don't want any kind of duct tape or Gorilla tape or nothing like that. Just a simple piece of painter's tape. And the only thing this is doing is holding these in the center. They're not holding anything other than that. When this thing deploys, I want this stuff to break. I want it to let it go where it needs to go. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna simply put a piece right here on this side, wrap it around there, make it all nice and tight. And like I said, all it's doing is holding it in the center, guys. That's it. We're gonna take a piece on the other side and we're gonna wrap it right around there as well. Guys, all that's doing is keeping that strap in the center of that carabiner. That's all I care about. We're gonna do the same thing on the bottom. And this is absolutely unnecessary, guys. All this part is just something I like to do just to keep everything neat and tidy. And I am gonna take one more piece, just one time around, guys, and just hold it right in place here. Now there's not enough tension on this tape that if this would happen to deploy, it's going to open up and tear that tape right where it should, and it's just going to open. It won't even notice the tape is there, guys, I promise you. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. All right, so as you can see, guys, I have a lot of extra here that's just kind of coming up and getting out of the way, and we sure don't want this hanging out like this when we're flying, right? So that's what this pocket right here is for, and these pockets in the front also have some room too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this up. If you look, this pocket right here will zip around that or Velcro around that. And that's about how I want it. I don't want all that extra in here. I'm going to hide it inside of here, guys. So we'll move it up like this, about the length it should be. And then we'll just tuck this around. And we'll start tucking that right inside of there. It's going to clean up really nice. We'll make sure that Velcro is nice and tight on there. And do that all the way up this side of the harness. And if you look right here, there's plenty of slack, right? So when I'm flying like this, it's gonna go up and down depending on how I'm setting in there. And this is not all gonna be hanging out all over the place. It's tucked away nicely. Now, what do we do with all this extra here though? So what I like to do is I work it inside. So we know this is to the right side. So I like to come in and make it somewhat nice in here, guys. I don't wanna just throw it in here. I want it to set in here nicely. So it's nice and packed inside of there. And then we simply close this one up. Velcro all the way up to the top, and it looks nice and neat, right? This side is attached. This side still has some extra. We're going to pull it down through here, and this time, like I said, it goes behind this little flap on the sup air harness anyway. This little bit of extra we're going to hide really nice and neat. I want to keep my handles right there so when it deploys they're available. And again, Velcro it down all the way to the top. This piece tucks in this way. And that's pretty much it. That's a reserve installation on a sup air harness, guys. A steerable reserve installation on a sup air harness. This side right here, this always bugged me a little bit on the sup air. And all this is for is if there was a second reserve, it would come up this side and do the same thing in each of these pockets. You see how that one tucks down nice? It's because that has the risers right inside of there that go down and tuck away. So it holds out all nice and neat. This one just kind of flaps in the breeze. I push it down in here every once in a while, but she'll work her way back out, no doubt. That's gonna about do it, guys. There's really not a whole lot more to show you on that. It's all tucked away nice and pretty, and I'm gonna get all tucked away nice and pretty in the house. It's getting chilly out here in the garage. I don't think I'm gonna show you the other reserve. Basically the same deal, guys. It just goes on the SkyMax. Installation is the same thing. It just does not have the steering toggle, so I'm not gonna bore you with that. Anyway, guys, I miss you. It's cold, and I'm tired of this. I got spring fever, and I'm ready to get out there and get in the skies. And hopefully that's where I'll catch you on the next one, guys, is up in those skies. So until then, guys, I miss you. Love you. Scareberry out. Have a good one.